fall off the bone baby back ribs recipe. That's what I'm planning on doing today. If y'all love to barbecue tender baby back ribs on the Ugly Drum smoker or on your Weber kettle, whatever, however you like to barbecue your baby back ribs, you can use the grill that you have, but I've got a great recipe for barbecuing baby back ribs. So y'all stick around and see what I do. Check out the spices I'm going to be using. I've only used these on a couple of videos before. They're from Texas Plum Line. They're a seasoning that I love to use, and I just haven't done them on many videos. But we ran into them the other day up in Amarillo. They're going to have a giveaway for y'all, my subscribers, and I'm going to tell you about a giveaway from Texas Plum Line later on in the video. So stick around for that and see how I make the best baby back ribs I can make on my Ugly Drum smoker. We're cooking now. Got everything taken care of I had to do today. So now I can cook supper. Wife and the son wanted ribs. I decided to do some baby backs. Normally don't do baby backs. I love spares, but the thing about baby backs are they're naturally more tender and they'll cook a little faster. So that's gonna come in handy tonight. I'll do this much like I do my spares. Slide my knife under there. You can use the back side of your blade, use a dull knife, a butter knife, oyster knife works great. So once you kind of get it loose, grab it with your paper towel. And we're going to bring that membrane all the way off. There's one. Always like it when it comes off in a solid piece, makes it easier. This is what we're going to be using today. Texas Plum Line, their shake, rub, and marinate. I am going to put a link down below for them so that y'all can find these products. And like I said, they're going to have some gifts for y'all. And I'll put some details later on in the video of how you can win some of those items from Texas Plum Line. Sides covered well. Turn them over. Let's get this meaty side done. And these are up by the loin. That's one reason why they're more tender. And that's why you also sometimes hear these called loin ribs or loin back ribs, or you hear them sometimes just back ribs. But just get, I'm cooking at 275. Put it at your favorite temperature. That's where I like cooking. So we'll let these sit. They're going to start bringing out some of the juices up out of those into that marinade. That's going to help with our bark. But let me get that pit ready to go, and we'll get back with y'all when we're going to put these on there. And I can show you this too. This is their red chili wild plum sauce. It's called a dipping sauce. But I'm going to coat one set of these ribs with this when they're about ready to come off the pit. And this is a great sauce. These ribs are going to come out fantastic. Pit's up to 275. Actually, it's about 290 right now. But after we get some cold meat in there and open it up, it's going to cool down. But I'll lay those in here. Good to go. About 2 hours, I'm going to check these. I figure about 2.5 to 3. They should be ready. Doesn't take a long time for baby backs. Now, tell you how we got this set up. I have some lump charcoal in here. It's a new lump I got. I've never really got excited about lump before because of the way it pops and the problems you have with that. This is called harder charcoal. It's out of South America, but I like it a lot. I've cooked with it before. I've got a video of a wild hog ham that I did with it. I'll put a link for that below. Also, what you need to do is on that video, I have a link to my buddy Frack Daddy. And Frack Daddy Barbecue does an in-depth review of this. He'd give you a lot more details than I do, but it's a great lump. Doesn't pop, so I don't mind using it in my UDS because you don't have that popping problem, so you're not gonna get a fire out of control. But we're gonna let this sit a couple hours, get right back with y'all. Now, while we're waiting on these ribs, I'm gonna tell you a little bit about this great barbecue seasoning that I'm using tonight, Texas Plum Line, their marinate rub. I just really do like this. Been using it for years. Miss Connie, we met her up in Amarillo years ago, and every year when we go to the World Championship Ranch Rodeos, we would get a couple of bottles, and the next year we get a couple more. So we've always done that. This year I said, hey, can I go up there and do a video with y'all about your product? So I'm gonna put a little video in here where y'all can see Clay and Julie. Miss Connie wasn't there. She's been having some health problems. But she was excited to hear that I had stopped by and done a video for the YouTube channel. So let's kind of see some of their products, what they do. They're going to explain some of it. They're going to talk about these wild plums that Miss Connie started using years and years ago to build up her business up there in Amarillo. But a sweetheart of a lady, a good company, good people. So hey, let's just look at some of these things and see some of these items. Hear what Clay and Julie have to say. And of course, we need something to do while these ribs are cooking. So let's look at some of their products, what's going on. And remember, we're going to be giving away some of their products later on. So stick around so I can tell you how we're doing that.
John, you said you had used the shake, rub, and marinate?
Yes, we love it.
Okay. I'm going to tell you right now, this is the one product you need in your cabinet for anything that you're doing. Now, you don't have to change because everybody has their favorite season, spice, so forth. But you can use this on a base on everything that you do, especially out on the grill, and it's not going to cover up your traditional taste, but it's going to enhance the flavor of that meat. It's going to bring it forward, going to tenderize it a little bit. I usually, I got into cooking some tomahawk ribeyes. I don't know if you've ever cooked a tomahawk before, but just cover it pretty generously and then sear it about 3 minutes on each side and elevate it. I got a remote, they got remote meat thermometers now.
Right, right.
I can sit in the living room and watch my meat cook. But anyway, put those in there, and then you got a pan of butter, thyme, rosemary, and some garlic underneath. And you just kind of baste those tomahawks like that, and man, it's the best at 132, 135. Take them off, rest 10 minutes. It's the best ribeyes you ever had.
Stick around because I'm going to do that recipe. So in the future, we're going to be cooking some tomahawks like Clay's telling us about today.
It's just going to come out great. And I promise you, if you don't like it, send it back. We'll give you your money back. That's how confident I am in that. We sell it in that jar, but then a lot of guys, because they can't buy it at the store, they'll buy bags to try to last them all
Go a little bit further.
That's
yeah.
Right, sure.
And we buy these every year when we're up here, and we'll get 2 or 3 containers, and by the end of the year we're out, and we got to get back to Amarillo to pick up some more.
You can always order anything you want on TexasPlumline.com and get a repeat order. But I do have a story about this. You know, we're hunters and we like a lot of wild game and so forth like that. And so between my mom and Julie, they came up with this recipe here, and let me tell you, the traditional dove and the way you fix it, they filleted the breast and put them with a little bit of jalapeno and some jicama, wrapped it in the bacon, and then once it kind of grilled it, you got to kind of keep it a little bit rare, not much, but just a little bit rare, and then hot butter and heat that sauce and drizzle it over there. The best thing you ever ate.
That's good. And y'all know I've got if you watch this a lot, I've got a playlist of wild game playlists.
Right.
And I've got about 100 dove in the freezer. We had a great dove season this year. Had some friends out. They left us some birds there. So we're going to be doing some dove videos very soon for that. And here's another recipe for us to try that we can see how it works on our dove.
Kind of wildfowl, use it on pheasant, use it on quail. When you're got that, you know, part of the turkey you've covered with your traditional gravy, you know, but you kind of got that little bit of dry turkey, just put a little bit of that on it. I promise you there won't be anything left at the end of Thanksgiving.
There you go. That is fantastic.
So my mom also, one of the things that was traditional around our house, a lot around Christmas time, but you know, her dad had a real sweet tooth. So her mother used to make her own peanut patties, you know, and pralines, and she just worked with pecan pralines and kind of brought it up a level and really added some creaminess and milk, so forth. I don't know what it's good. Let me tell you right now. And listen, if you get this Texas praline, I promise you this. What you do is you just eat a little bit of it, put it in the freezer. If you start in El Paso, you'll be in East Texas by morning, I promise. Yeah. Sometimes I have to get up in the middle of the night just to go get a piece, you know.
There you go.
Something that we put in all our holiday baskets. So, Johnny, we ship corporate gifts. We ship gift boxes, you know, all over the United States. And a lot of people, you know, they say, hey, I got this thing, but I don't know where to get it. So just go to TexasPlumline.com. You can order for your relatives and just say, hey, ship it here, here, here. We ship to Alaska, ship overseas too. So,
and that's good. A lot of people won't do that. We're going to give away about 4, 5, 6
Absolutely.
products. And so what we'll do is after this airs on one of my lives, I'll give you a detail of, we'll probably go about a week, let y'all look at this, and we're gonna have a comment below and put, I love Texas Plumb Line in the comments. If you say that in the comments, then you will be up for the drawing that we're gonna have. I'm gonna do a random drawing, and we're gonna give away about 5 or 6 items. We're gonna open these up. They've been on for 2 hours. We're gonna check out the color. If we like the color, I'm gonna wrap them. If not, we'll let them go a little bit longer before we wrap. Or we may not wrap at all, but let's check them out. I do like the color on these, so let's get these off. These ribs they're nice, they're tender, they're good color. I always wrap the color, but you can look, the bark's really set on there. It's not easy to scratch off, so it's a good color. It's a little bit darker than that one, but it's still all right. And I'm not gonna do a lot. I'm not gonna do these like my competition ribs. You wanna see my comp ribs, I'll put a link to that video down below. These, all I'm gonna do is put a little spray butter on them, right here. And they've got a lot of moisture in them. You could add some Dr. Pepper or some apple juice or something like that, but I just wanna kinda get them nice and wet on top. And all I'm gonna do is lightly sprinkle, kind of a dusting of my sauce, of my seasons again. My Texas Plumb Line. Light coating of that. Fold those up. That one's over. That one's ready to go. Those are ready. We'll get them back on the pit and let them go. I say about 30, 45 minutes, these will be ready to go. Let's open these up, see how they look. Yeah, nice and pretty. Let's take a probe here. Yeah, they're tender. All we want to do now is get a little sauce on there and set that sauce. Drizzle some of this across here. Just gonna spread it. Have a little spice to them. There's some red chili flake in here, but it's a good flavor. It's a good heat. These are pretty. I'm gonna set these back on the pit. Let this sauce set. Here's our wet ribs. Lid's back up on top. Give these about 15 minutes. We'll pull them off to see how they taste. See if we can slice these up if I can find the spot. Pretty smokering. See that? Cut out a couple of bones here. Look at that. Coming out of the bone. That's a pretty rib. Well, there you have it, folks. Fantastic baby back ribs. These things are coming off the bones. You can look at that, man. I tell you what, you can peel that meat right off of them. Tender. Excellent ribs, tender ribs. Flavor's tremendous. A little bit of heat from that red chili wild plum sauce, but overall just fantastic. And again, just a slight amount. That's not real hot, but you can tell it's there. If you like the video, remember to go down there and give me a thumbs up. Always appreciate that. Tell your friends and family about it. Share us on your social media. And folks, I tell you what, appreciate you watching so much. And all I can say is please share. That's how we grow the channel, is by you telling other people about us, by you sharing us. That's how we're going to get bigger, trying to grow this channel. I hope you enjoy it. You got things you want to see, let me know that. I'll try to get some of these things up on the on the channel for you. But thanks a lot. Always appreciate it. And we're going to see y'all down the road on Texas style barbecue and cuisine.